Hello and welcome everybody. In this video we're going to be talking about a game called Over the Top, more specifically a playtest for the game that ran through the 29th of January to the 1st of February. However, it did get extended a couple days, but that's still not very long, so if you were interested in the game and you happen to miss this playtest, then the game is coming out on the 6th of March, which isn't too far away. And if you are interested in the game, as per usual, I've left the links to the Discord and Steam down below in the comment section. So if you want to add the game to your Steam wish list to get notified when it comes out and help the creators out, and maybe join the Discord so that you can see announcements about maybe future playtests or anything like that. So without any further ado, let's get into the actual game itself. So Over the Top is a frontline trench combat simulator of sorts, similar to like Hold Fast or some of the Battlefield games. It's somewhat similar to like Battlefield, but it's a bit less serious and a bit less competitive. It's more about having like fun with the setting, and the prox chat is a very big part of it as well. So if you've played any similar games, you probably will be somewhat into the prox chat. If you're not into prox chat, I might not recommend it quite as much. It's still very much an enjoyable experience without the proximity chat, but if you do use the proximity chat, it's much more like immersive and fun. Actually, in this first lobby I got into, there was a streamer by the name of Henry West, Twitch TV. If you want to check him out, he's a fun little streamer. He does similar games like this. I believe he's played Holdfast. He does sort of like British role playing and like army games and such. So it was quite fun messing around and people doing like line charges and whatnot with him as like a commanding officer. It was quite fun. Additionally, I did forget to mention this, but along with the factions, you also pick sort of like a party slash squad. It says up in the top left, and you're in the spawning in menu. And Henry was the commanding officer of the squad I was in. So as you see by the gameplay in the background, this was my first match, so I was just sort of like wandering around, trying out the different classes and the different weaponry, just having fun, not really like seriously trying to do anything. The general like movement is a bit like almost finicky to start with, so I was getting used to that as well. Just a little FYI, there isn't any audio because the audio recorded quite weird. I'm not sure why, but it was a bit messed up, so I can't use it. Unfortunately, all of my footage was a bit messed up. I think it was just a conflict between my recording software and the game for some reason. I just wanted to showcase this because it was a cool little first match, and it's quite cinematic and cool. Also, the fact that I got to play with Henry was quite nice. You can see him right now. He was talking about like grabbing the candelabras to do a little charge for the for the Holy Land, I believe. And there was a random German officer that unfortunately walked in here that we didn't see. You see, it's very chaotic. There's a lot of explosions. Sometimes the spawn points can be a bit weird. So moving on to another match, yeah, I chose to play as the British side, oh, British and French. So I picked out the Stormtrooper class with a semi-automatic rifle and spawned in. So as you can see here, we're not yet actually at combat. We've got a prepare phase. I didn't see this in the other match because I joined midway in. This is how they usually start though, with there being like a minute and a half or so, I believe, for you to just dig out trenches and set up defenses. So it's just a quick little thing of me and my teammates digging a trench. So after we get done with the trench, we're sort of just line firing at will, basically. I don't know, it's I'm not sure if it was very effective, but it was kind of just a fun little thing. Some of the teammates were already pushing out the trench and over it, but see, we didn't really have any commanding officers taking point and telling us commands to push over all unified. So you can see like a couple of people have moved up to some hay bales for cover, and then a couple more people have pushed up even further. Planes in the sky, got some artillery fire occasionally going. And I heard someone talking to my right, and this guy with an anti-tank rifle sat next to me. He was just asking if there was like an ADS. The game doesn't currently at least feature an ADS if you're not using a sniper rifle, so I was just telling him that. And we went back to firing over the trench for a second. And as you can see in the top right now, it says white phosphorus barrage, and then it's counting down to it. So whenever there's like an artillery barrage or a phosphorus barrage or whatnot, it'll do a little like countdown. So me and this So the guy, we start just digging the trench forward because most of the people are going over and dying, and then the rest just sort of sitting there and not doing anything. So we decided, hey, maybe let's dig a trench forward. And it did end up working out quite well, but it took a while. I'm just going to keep this part sped up because it's just the digging. And eventually we did get quite a large following, and we had most of the troops going. We had a tank. We're getting artillery barraged. But we had like I'm pretty sure the entire army that was just coming through the trench. So because the entire army was coming through the trench, the enemy kind of noticed that, unfortunately. So they did try and strike us a bit more precisely with artillery and aeroplanes and such. And as you can see in a second, it did work. Unfortunately, yes. They also had machine guns, like the one that just killed me. They were just kind of funneling us down. It's kind of cool though. If you look on the map, you can actually see our little tunnel. So I respawned back in, but because we didn't have any forward operating bases, I had to spawn right at the initial spawn that everyone gets. So there was a little bit of a trek to get back to where I died at, but it's not too far. And as you can see, the tunnel we dug is pretty safe. So I got to the front of the trench where I was before I died. And I like to just sort of shoot at the airplanes a little bit to put a bit of extra damage on them. If like half of their team's shooting at them, then they do get some serious damage to them, and they eventually go down. So we just sat in the front, sort of just trading shots back and forth. Occasionally, a guy will run over on either side and get mowed down, but it's mostly just shot trading back and forth. I quite liked this semi-automatic rifle. Had a 5-round magazine, but you can shoot it decently fast and it's quite accurate. Despite the crosshair looking like it's going fairly skew with, the guns are all pretty accurate, even if the crosshair is blooming quite a lot. As you see an officer running over there, he did give a charge order, but I don't think anyone noticed, to be honest. I certainly didn't. But you can see it in the top right, as I said, with like the phosphorus barrages and the barrages of mortar strikes and all that. It will say their charge. They've all run out now, though. So we just keep digging along, we're just trying to get a bit closer to them. See, honestly, this match was a bit disorganized. We didn't have any like officers sort of parading around and giving instructions. We didn't really have any tactics or anything. We were just digging a long hole towards them. And I mean, it was kind of working, but it probably could have been a bit more effective tactics we could have used. But, that's just how it is in the chaos. It's great. I mean, these kind of games are more fun when people actually like put effort into role playing with it and whatnot. You'll hear people like going down and you'll turn around, you see like a guy laying on the ground, you'll pretend like he's bleeding out, faking like blood sounds and whatnot. It's great. But anyways, on to another match. Here I spawn in, artillery comes down, takes out like 4 or 5 of my teammates. It's quite cool looking. I'm just sneaking along here. I see a teammate on the MG emplacement. I see a nice little couple of guns for the pick-in, and I wanted to experiment with a different gun, so I grabbed this Jan-Feb. My teammate goes down off the gun, so I was thinking of pushing over, but I'm sort of just waiting for another guy to either get on the gun or maybe someone else to come over with me. As you see here, someone does get on the gun, so I'm just tossing a couple of nades. To be honest, I thought the enemy trench was a lot closer than it was, so I push over, and you can see it's kind of much further than I thought it was. I see a guy passing by there. I take him out with one shot, and then I walk up to him and finish him off with another. And then I take out his unsuspecting friend. Round the corner, I'm listening and checking for people. I see one, take him out. Another one didn't see me, I take him out as well. So I'm just walking past here, checking my back, just to make sure I don't get snuck up on. There's no one about. So I run through, turn the corner, check left, no one there, check right, no, on the left, take him out, push around the left a bit more. I really should have reloaded by now, but I didn't. You'll see why in a second. Turn the corner, I somehow miss him. Shoot him again, he's dead. Then again, I don't know how I miss again. Take him out. Then there's a guy just on top of me, but I'm mid-reload. I don't know what he's doing. I take him out, take out his friend, and then as I'm going to finish off his friend, I get taken out finally, but that was like 8 kills, so it was pretty fun. And I do just want to show this little clip off here because I think see there, I think the flamethrower is a little bit overtuned. He basically insta-killed me, even though I shot a shotgun directly, like center mass into him. And then I have a second clip of a somewhat similar situation where he comes past. I do hit him, but it didn't look like a super well-placed shot. But I'm gonna pull this screenshot up here where it kind of looked like I headshot him, but I'm not too sure because there was a lot of smoke. So it's unsure. Maybe I chest shot him. I could have clipped his shoulder, who knows. But anyways, enough of that. On to my final thoughts to end the video off. I think the game is fine. I don't think it does anything specifically unique or special. The only real niche it has is the fact that it is more specifically geared towards WW1. I think it'll find a decent little niche where you know, has a small community of World War One sort of enjoyers that play it on the daily. Maybe a couple hundred concurrent players. I doubt it'll be very big in the coming months or years, but it's yet to release, so who knows. But anyways, yeah, I think the gameplay is fine. I don't think it's nothing special. I don't think it's bad at all either. There are a few balancing things that I would change here and there, a couple bugs, but nothing really too standoffish. I think overall, if you're interested in these kind of games, maybe, you know, buy it with a couple friends. But yeah, that's about all my thoughts. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you had all enjoyed, please do subscribe and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.